Hello everyone, a very good morning to you all. Welcome to the first lecture of Performance Management paper of ACCA. I hope all of you are doing well. We're going to be starting the class with a brief orientation session where we will talk about the performance management paper at length, what you can expect in the exam, how the exam is structured, right? Some key points to help you pass the exam. So all of this will be covered in detail in today's session. And before we get into that, we're going to be starting with a quick introduction about each one of us, starting with me, and then I'll hand over the session to you, where you can also give an introduction about yourselves, right? So so I'm Anushka Jain, your mentor for the performance management paper. I am a chartered accountant. I qualified that in 2017. So it's been about 8 years since the qualification. And I have been working with corporates since then. My first corporate experience was with Coca-Cola in Bangalore, where I was managing the internal controls department. And then it was during this time that I decided to take up the ACCA course. So in 2019, I took up ACCA. So see, I qualified all the papers, all the levels of CA in the very first attempt. Am I not audible? Can anyone please confirm? Am I audible? Sarah, I think there is issue at your end. Can you please log out and then log in again? Sarah, please try logging out and logging in. Because I'm audible to others. Yes. So as I was mentioning that, I qualified all the levels of CA exam in the first attempt. So I wanted to continue studies further. So that's how I decided to take up ACCA. And in 2019, I took up the first paper. Yeah, mic I have deactivated. Mic I've deactivated. Anything that you want to talk about, you can put it in the chat because it's better for the recording purposes also. So you can use the chat functionality. And if there's anything I feel that, you really need, the mic to talk, you can turn that on as well. No problem there. All right. So I took up ACCA in 2019 June. Since I was a qualified accountant, chartered accountant, I just had to appear for the strategic professional level papers. And the first paper I chose was Advanced Financial Management, AFM. And in June 2019 attempt, I got world rank 2 and all India rank 1 in that paper. My corporate experience and my logical inclination for the subject helped me get that. And then in the next attempt, I gave two papers. That was SBL and SBR that I qualified in the first go. And then finally, I gave the APM paper, Advanced Performance Management. That as well I qualified. And in Jan 20, I got my results out and I was a ACCA as well. And it was then that I got associated with VGLD. And I've been teaching students for about more than 5 years now. Since then, I am teaching students of AFM paper, FM paper, and of course the PM paper. I'm sure some of you might have studied from me in some other subjects. So that was about me. And then post working with Coca-Cola, I joined Pernod Ricard India. It's a liquor-based company. It's a liquor company, having brands like Imperial Blue, Royal Stag, Blender's Pride. And then I moved on to Flipkart. And after working for about 2.5 years, more than 2.5 years there, I joined back. So I got a call back from my ex company that was Pernod Ricard, and I joined as the head of finance for Northeast sales finance. And after having worked there, I, I've now moved to full-time coaching, right? So now I'm only engaged in teaching the students and mentoring you and supporting you in your ACCA journey. So that was an introduction about me. Now I would request, so I'm based out of Guwahati in Assam, and I'm currently taking online classes here. So moving on to your introduction, you can, I would request all of you to please mention your name and your city. If you are studying, what are you studying? If you are working, where are you working? And how many papers you have attempted, and whether you have taken for any classes in the past from me. And anyways, I'll recognize you from your names also, but please mention it in your introduction as well. All of you, please start. Whatever educational qualification you have, all of that you can please mention quickly. Please use the chat box functionality. You can type in the chat, and please mark the message to everyone so that everyone can get to know each other, and it will help you in forming a study group among yourselves as well. Please send in your response. Okay, so Manvendra is working in a UK-based KPO, more than 5 years in UK accounting. That's awesome. Have you attempted any other paper before this, Manvendra? All right, so it's your first paper. Great. Prathama is BCom plus CA Inter, working in NBFC as Senior Finance Manager Ops. That's great. And please keep mentioning if you have attempted any other ACCA paper before, attempted and passed also. And Prathama, are you from any of the previous batches? Because I had a student named Prathama. Umair, I know, is from Pakistan, currently residing in Dubai. I've passed 6 papers, gave exam for 2 papers last week. Okay, so which 2 papers did you give, Umair? One was FM and... Okay, double A. Super. Sarah is from Muzaffarnagar, UP, currently pursuing BCom from Jamia, along with ACCA. So far, I'm done with 6 papers, and this will be my 7th one. All right. So, Umair, this is your last skill level paper. On to the professional level next term. Prathama is giving the first attempt. All right. Shreya is doing BCom. Shreya, have you done any other paper before? Dimple, working with UK-based KPO from last 14 years. That's awesome. Completed MBA in 2010. This is my first attempt for ACCA, and I'm from Delhi. Okay. All right. So I see a lot of newbies here. First paper of ACCA. Good. Mijima, become student from Chennai. First attempt in ACCA. Okay. Has everyone responded? Ashna, Dharya, Hiren, Tripti. Dharya is from Karnal. Okay, for Dharya also it's the 9th paper. So on to the professional level next. Very good. Ashna, this is the 7th exam. Okay, Hiren's first exam. Tripti, is it your first paper? Done any other paper before this? First paper. All right. So what I understand is that's a mixed lot. A lot of you are newbies though. First paper. And some of you are experienced and quickly going to move on to the professional level. That's great. And I see a lot of you are working as well. That's good to know. Your practical experience will definitely help you in your course preparation as well. So the class schedule is, I'll just mention the class schedule as well if you're aware, good, or else just please listen to me carefully. The classes will be on Saturday, Sunday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday, Thursday, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Right? So Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, Sunday for 4 hours each classes. And mostly we'll be covering the syllabus. Most of part of the syllabus will get completed by the 30th of April. That's by target. Or if not, we'll wrap it up in the mid of May, right? So please make sure you try to join the live lectures. It will be very useful, and I'm sure those of you have attended lectures before will resonate with it. When you try and attempt the regular live lectures, it helps you gain an advantage in terms of understanding, getting a feedback on your preparation journey. So that will be really useful, right? So repeat the schedule. Saturday, Sunday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday, Thursday, morning, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Right? So on that note, let us deep dive into the orientation session. So first thing, let's understand how the exam is structured so that you get to know what you're preparing yourself for. A lot of you may already be aware about it, but since a lot of you are new, it will be very useful. And please pay attention here. Any doubt that you get, please feel free to post it in the chat. I keep the class very open-ended. You can post in your queries, your suggestions, your opinions about any topic in the chat box, and I'll definitely address them in the class. So don't hesitate, don't feel shy that, it's a very silly question. It's a very basic thing. That's something that everyone would be knowing and I don't know. Don't think about all of this. Please feel free to post your queries as you get them. Okay? Because, when the class is engaging, when the class is interactive, it helps me also to remain more engaged with you all. All right. So first is that PM is a computer-based exam. So everything that you're gonna do, it's gonna be on a computer, no pen and paper. And for the same reason, I would request all of you to please join the classes using a laptop only. The reason is, I don't want you to be lying down with, watching the lectures on your mobile. It doesn't help. When you're attentive, when you're sitting on a table and chair, and then studying, it gives you more and more confidence and, more attention to learn and grasp a topic. So use your laptop, use Word file and Excel files. So two softwares that you're going to be using while studying, it would be your Word, MS Word and MS Excel to study the topics. So because what I do in my classes, it's we discuss concepts and we discuss a lot of question and answers also in the class. So when we discuss those questions, I'll give you some time to solve. And that solving has to happen on a computer. I don't want you to be using pen and paper. You can use a calculator if you like, but try to use Excel for solving. It will improve your typing skills also, which is needed for exam purposes. So yes, coming back, what I was saying is that in our classes also, I'll be giving you a lot of questions to solve that you can do on your laptops and send in your answer. It won't be possible if you join using mobiles or tablets. So if any one of you has joined today's class on a mobile, it's okay. Mostly we'll be discussing the orientation or maybe just a brief introduction to the next, to the first chapter. But otherwise, going forward, please find a laptop and use that for the classes. So performance management is a computer-based exam. There are two ways in which you can appear for the exam. First one is your center-based exam, the regular way in which you would have appeared for exams so far in your lives, whereby you go to a center, you will get a computer there. You just have to go and type in your answers on that computer. And the other way is to go for a remote exam. For remote exam, you can give the exam from the comfort of your own homes. You don't have to travel anywhere. So if your city or town doesn't have an exam center, you can opt for remote exam as well. Or if you're not getting a seat in the desired exam center, you can also opt for remote exam. However, be very careful when you go for a remote exam. Everything will be on you. You have to manage the laptop with the desired configuration. You have to have your camera on at all times, and there will be remote invigilation happening. So any type of scrupulous activity, if it is observed, your exam may get cancelled. I have seen students, engaging in some activities and then their exam is getting cancelled, or you may even be debarred from ACCA. So please do not risk it. Do not do any type of scrupulous activity while going for the remote exam. You are risking your entire career. Third point that you need to keep in mind is that Wi-Fi needs to be very strong for ensuring and 100% connectivity, right? So that you don't face any lags or issues while you're writing your exam. So these are the few things. If you're able to manage that at home, and you need to have a closed space, no one else should be entering the room. So, all of these requisites you need to keep in mind if you're going for a remote-based exam. If you're going for a center-based exam, no worries at all. Just go and appear for the exam. Also, in a center-based exam, you will be given with a rough sheet. You can do calculations on a rough sheet, whereas there is no rough sheet allowed in a remote exam. You can't have any paper on the table. So yes, you can carry calculators in both, in remote as well as center-based exam. So calculators are allowed on both the approaches. Are you clear? All of you with me so far? How the exam is conducted? Yes? Okay. So next is the approach to examining. There is no choice in this exam. All questions have to be answered. You will be getting n number of questions. The number of questions are not fixed. It's going to be some number of questions. We'll come to that also. But whatever n number of questions you get, all of them will be mandatory. There is no choice, no optional questions, no extra questions. Whatever questions come in the exam, they all are going to be mandatorily required to be attempted. Okay, and there is no negative marking till the very last day before the previous batch's exam. Also, some of the students asked me, ma'am, is there negative marking? Should I be concerned if I'm not knowing the answer with full confidence? No, there is no negative marking at all. You either get marks or you get zero. There's no negative marking, very clearly. So if you do not know any question with full confidence, please answer it on the best case basis. Do not leave any question unanswered. Okay, so there is no negative marking. All questions should be attempted. Then exam duration will be of 3 hours, and pass mark will be 50%. Meaning to say you need to score 50 out of 100. So it's a 100-mark paper, okay? Out of 100, you need to score 50% marks, 50 marks to pass the paper. Okay, and for that you will get 3 hours in total. Now let us come to the structure of the paper. Very important. So the paper is divided into 3 sections. Section A, B, and C. Section A and B are evaluated by a computer. There is no human involvement in section A and B. Section C is a human marked section. That means whatever responses you submit here will be evaluated by a human, whereas here it will be evaluated directly by a computer. So section A and B are objective test questions, and section C is constructed response. Ma'am, when you say objective test, does that mean MCQ? Objective test includes MCQ, but not only MCQ. There will be different types of questions, which I will show you briefly in some time. So all of them, they can come under section A and B. So it's not just MCQ. You may even have to code in the numbers, number, whatever answer that you are getting. So all of them come under the classification of OT. Now let's discuss each of these sections independently. Section A will have 15 questions, and each of these questions will carry 2 marks. So how many marks are there in section A? 15 into 2, 30. Then in section B, there will be 3 scenario-based questions, 3 case study-based questions, and each of these case studies will have 5 sub-questions. Okay? Each of these questions will have 5 sub-questions, and each of these sub-questions will carry 2 marks each. So 5 questions into 2, 10 marks. 3 into 10, 30 marks. So total is 60. Now, a lot of times I get queries from students. Ma'am, I'll just prepare for section A and B. Section C requires me to write descriptive answers and I'm not confident about them. Will I pass or will it be sufficient if I just do some random workings here and complete this? My answer is a clear no, you will not pass. For passing, you need to have a strong grip on all the sections. You can't leave aside section C, and I'm not sure why students fear section C so much. In fact, I try to practice more of section C questions in the class itself so that you get the confidence. So please don't come up with such queries and don't even think about it. That's why I'm mentioning in the class itself, you don't even have to think about just preparing section A and B objective test questions and thinking you will pass. I'm telling you, you won't pass. Then in section C, constructed response, 2 questions will be there. And when I say 2 questions, 2 case studies will be given to you. And each of these case studies will carry 20 marks. So 20 into 2, 40 marks. Ma'am, what is the split of questions here? It's not specified. Okay, there could be 3 questions also, 2 questions also, 4 questions also of different marks. But it's not specified by ACCA. In fact, I have seen just 1 question also of 20 marks. So it could be anything. So constructed response question, 2 questions of 20 marks each, comprising 40 marks. So this is the total 100 marks, which you have to cover in 3 hours. Please tell me if you're with me so far. Anyone having any query? Take your time, go through it. No hurry at all. Clear? All right. Others also, please go through it. All right, perfect. Especially those of you who are giving exam for the first time, you all should just, take in all, absorb all of this. Are we allowed to do calculations on Excel? So in section A and B, Manvendra, you do not get Excel. In section C, you will get Excel. So for section A and B, I would suggest you do the calculations on a calculator. Okay, the calculations will be on a simpler side only. So section A and B calculations should be done on a calculator and section C in Excel. But in senses, I'll tell you when they come in the preparation that sometimes it is simpler and faster even for a section A question calculation to be done on Excel. Then I'll tell you what to do. I will be covering that in today's class only. But generally speaking, section A and B, you have to solve using calculator and C using Excel. But yes, no one stops you from using section C Excel for section A and B solution also. You can do that, and I'll show you how you can do that. Okay. So yeah, section C, A, B, C, this is the split. 15 questions here. Then 3 questions here, 2 questions here. But section B and C will have subset of questions. Okay. So that's the exam pattern. Now, let me show you sometime. Nothing to scare you, but to show you what the reality is. Okay. So this is the pass rate for all the exams. And you can see that, PM, out of all the 6 skill level papers, PM normally you would see would be on the lowest side. That means 41% students who appeared for the exam passed it. Here as well, some 42%, 45, 42. So, so Mayor says this is the reason I'm giving PM in the end. All right, it's nothing to worry. Okay, those of you who are giving PM as the first paper, I'm assuring you this percentage does not belong to you. Our institute boasts of a pass percentage greater than 70%. So of course, it all depends on your dedication. So this has got nothing to do with you, but I'm just telling you on a general level, PM tends to have a lower pass percentage. You might have heard a lot of students saying this, that PM is difficult. I would say PM is logical paper, and if you're taking the right coaching, you don't have to worry about it, for sure. Okay, so coming back. Yeah, so just put in your best efforts. See, you have to appear for this paper, and if you've chosen it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm telling you, don't get afraid. This was not to scare you, but just to tell you that put in the best efforts. And it's actually good that the most difficult paper is done in the first go itself. And those of you who are writing in the end, it's fine. You have already covered the rest, and just give it your best shot so that you're clear with this as well. Okay. So now comes the top resources to help you in your preparation journey. The first one is trainings from VGLD. And here I want to spend some time. I know it's somewhere drilled down in our minds that you need to study from a lot of books to pass the exam. And somehow, despite me telling me this in every batch, some of students always they start doing it, that they will start referring multiple books. They'll refer Kaplan also, BPP also, some private publication also, and a whole lot number of books, whatever is available in the market. You're just digging a hole for your own failure. It creates confusion in your mind. You start losing confidence. I don't want that to happen to you. So that's why I'm telling this in the first class itself. Please refrain. It's a very strong word. Please refrain from referring to any other publication. If your concepts are clear, see, I'm here to explain your concepts even 10 times. If you ask me, there is no problem. But if you start going across different books and they have different ways of putting across their answers, I'll not be able to help you there. What we are going to refer is very clearly, we will refer to the VGLD book and some parts of Study Hub I'll tell you about. So Study Hub, I find okay that if you're practicing from Study Hub and you have doubts there, that's okay with me. Because Study Hub is published by ACCA itself and we need to go by the logic which ACCA gives. But explaining logics of different books is not possible in the class. I'll not be able to take up queries from different books. In fact, stop doing it. Do not refer to other books only. I'm telling you as a mentor, as a friend, nothing about me. I mean, not wanting to take up the questions. It's for your own benefit. I don't want you to get confused with concepts. I'll build your concepts rock solid that any question from wherever it comes, you'll be able to handle it. Okay. So, those of you, like, I know that Umair has given the FM paper recently, he was my FM, just previous batch FM student. So, Umair, you can also share your feedback here. Like, were the concepts useful? Like, were helpful enough to help, solve the entire paper? Yes. So, and that's the feedback I get from a lot of students. So, a lot of my students who gave their exams on Wednesday, it was the PM paper. A lot of them came back and messaged me, ma'am. I could literally hear your voice talking about the concepts which were asked in the exam. So that's the type of connection I keep with my students, that whatever you need to know, you will know. It's just that you need to practice and keep, have a straight mind that I am having confidence in whatever I am studying, and whatever I need to know, I know that. That's very important. And before exam, if you start taking up different courses, different books, it's just not good for your preparation, right? So yes, trainings from VGLD, end-to-end support, all the concepts will be covered in the class. We will be doing a lot of question solving also in the class. So we'll take up some class questions. We'll be doing topic specific questions in the class. I'll ask you to do some questions from the back side also of the book. So all of you, have you got the VGLD book? All of you, please confirm. Have you got the VGLD book for PM? Some of you have got, some of you have not got. Those of you who have not got, please reach out to your onboarding admin partner to get the books at the earliest convenience. Please get them. And just to tell you, the books, how they are structured is basically first part is the content part, where the syllabus areas are discussed in detail, and the second half is of question and answers, and a lot of questions are there for practice. So what we do is, after every chapter is over, I'll ask you to please practice all the questions from the back side, and wherever you get doubt, just note it down and raise it to me in the next class. I don't like keeping doubts for the very end. Okay, just keep practicing side by side, and whenever you get doubt at the beginning of the class itself, we first take up the doubts, we clarify them, and then we proceed for the regular lectures. So get your copy of the book, reach out to them, and I'm sure they will send it across to you at the earliest. Okay, so we are going to be covering the VGLD book content as well as the questions in the class, and that should be sufficient. And for notes perspective, everything that is being covered in the class, you will get a copy of it. Don't have to worry about taking screenshot or writing anything, typing anything. You don't need to do anything. Just sit down and listen to me carefully. That's what I expect out of you. Whenever I ask you to solve, please solve. That's all that is required from your side. You don't have to type anything. In fact, whatever explanation also I give, I will type it in the Excel file only. So you will not have to do any hard work. Just have to be attentive in the class. That's all which is needed from you. So what we will do is, I will prepare chapter wise Excel files which we will use for solving the questions, for discussing the notes, everything. It will be comprehensively done in chapter wise Excel files. Once a particular chapter is over, I'll share across the file with the team and they will upload it on your LMS. So you will get all the files. Once the respective chapter is over, you will get the file for that particular chapter. Okay. So this is what trainings from VGLD will comprise of. So what we are doing, covering the VGLD book, content and question answers. And we're going to be doing a lot of examples from the notes also. And Excel notes will be shared across with you. Okay. Book anyways, you will get from the admin team. I'll not be able to share across the book. Book you will get from the admin team. Rest, all the notes that we are covering in the class, you will get. Okay. And any issue in getting the notes, anything, please be in contact with the admin team. They will help you. And anywhere, of course, if you feel any issue, challenge, I'm always there to help you out. Right? So that's about trainings from VGLD. Next, we have ACCA Study Hub. Now, let me show you that. So what you have to do is go to Google and type in ACCA Study Hub. Please do it along with me. Open your browser and type in ACCA Study Hub. Let me know when you're done. Please type in ACCA Study Hub. Open the browser. Type in ACCA Study Hub. Yes. Okay, so let's look up this. So this is the first link you'll be getting, ACCA Study Hub. Click on this. If you scroll down, you will see this alternate login. Please click on alternate login here. And click on sign in to my ACCA. Please click on sign into my ACCA. You'll have to enter your username and password. The username and password is the same as you would use for accessing my ACCA account. Do you have that? Please let me know once you have logged in. I'll wait for you. Have you registered? Those of you who are not having a username and password, have you registered with ACCA? Okay, that is why I think you're not having the username and password. All right. Whoever is coordinating, the coordinators, please reach out to the coordinators and get your registration completed ASAP basis. It's a useful tool and immediately we might not be using it, but you need to get the registration completed. Okay. So maybe today or on Monday, Sunday will be off for them as well. So on Monday, please reach out to them and get your registration complete. If there's a reason for delay, of course, they will tell you about that. But you can take an update from them. They will help you for sure. Okay. So once you get your my ACCA ID password, they will give it to you. It will come to you on your email ID as well. So once you get that, you use it to log into the study hub. It's very simple. You can watch the process here. And those of you who have the ID password, you can open ACCA Study Hub like I did, log in using your credentials and you will land on the screen. And you need to go to the not yet started tab. Okay. You need to go to the not yet started tab, and there you will see, I have already started it. So for me, it is showing in the dashboard, but you will be seeing a thumbnail like this. See, for exams from September 24 to June 2025, PM paper. Please check if you're able to see this. Those of you who have the ID password and those of you don't, just keep watching my screen. It's a very simple process that I'm explaining. You will see the screen. Take a look. Not able to see PM. Actually, it is coming to for me in the dashboard. Let me show you how you will see it. Just keep scrolling down, or maybe just keep going to the next part. See, it's available for scrolling to the next. Here you may see it. Just check. See, like for me, for the next attempt, since I've not started that till now, it is showing to me in the not yet started tab here. But this is for 2026 papers. Check, you'll be seeing it for 2025 paper also. Got it? All of you, those of you who have the login ID password, please check this one. We are going to be using 2025 attempts. This one. This thumbnail would be visible to you. Let me know when you are done and then we'll move ahead. Done? All right. So you will have to click on study. Please do that. So here, the first screen that you can see here is the chapter-wise resource content. Okay. So this you don't need because you have your own content in VGLD. So it's based on the ACCA content only. So you will not need to refer to this. Okay. Chapters are not needed. But what is important, something that you need to refer to is the quiz section. This is very important. So you will see chapter-wise quizzes here. So after we are done with every chapter in the class, I would request all of you to please complete all the questions from the back side that I'll show you, and questions from the quiz also. These are good questions, just let me show you. Good questions you will find over here. I'm randomly selecting currently. So, you'll have to select the option and confirm your answers here. And you will get a feedback also, like I attempted 5 out of which I got 2 right. I was randomly selecting the answer, so I got 2 out of 5 right, so I got 40%. Now, if you want to see what the correct answer is and what is the reason for that, you click on review all and you will see the correct answer here. The correct answer is this, and this is the explanation for it, the detailed calculation. Similarly, you'll get it for all the questions that you just attempted. So it helps you to practice more and get a better understanding of the concepts. Okay. So in this way, you can attempt the quizzes, and it's available chapter wise. So you can do it once each chapter is done in the class. Okay. So similarly, like, for chapter 2 also, you have to click on start quiz and then select the answers. The different types of questions will be given to you. Again, somehow I scored 40% only. So, this try. Okay. Now, this is one section which will be useful to you. The other section which will be useful to you would be the flashcards. So all the keywords, let me show you the list. Around 64 keywords are there. And all the keywords, like for example, information system, what it means. It consists of people, procedure, and possibly computer hardware and software working together to collect, store, process, and communicate information. So these keywords you are going to be learning in the course of your studies, but it becomes like a ready referencer. Maybe you can take a print of this and hang it up on your study table. It will be useful to have a quick glance at it every once in a while. Like what is MIS, EIS, ERP, CRM, all of these things you're going to be learning in the classes. But a quick referencer on your study table won't harm. So you can use flashcards as well. Okay, so two sections that you're going to be finding useful from here. One is quizzes and the other one is flashcards. Practice you may ignore because it mostly comprises of the past exam questions, and all the past exam questions have been covered in the VGLD book as well. Okay, so this is something you can ignore. So two sections that you're going to be using is flashcards and quizzes. Okay, please tell me if you're with me so far. Any query, let me know. I keep giving you pauses. If you get any doubt, you can ask me. Or if you get doubt while I'm talking, also you can post it in the chat. Once I'm done, I'll take up your doubts as well. So don't feel shy. Use the chat box as per your convenience. Let me know when you're done. Do we have the option to practice more and more quiz? No, the number of questions are restricted. So here, since we have 18 chapters, so 18 into 590 questions are here. And a lot of practice questions in the book. So sufficient. This is gonna take a lot of time themselves also. And also I'll show you some other ways to practice more questions that will come to next. But here you can't increase the number of questions. Done? All right. So that was about ACCA Study Hub. The next resource that you see over here is ACCA CBE Practice Platform. What is CBE? CBE is computer-based exam. Okay. Let me show you what that is. And for this as well, what you have to do is go to Google and type in this. Now I will show you in a different browser. Which please type in ACCA Practice Platform. And click on this past exams and question practice. Okay. And then you scroll down and click on login to the practice platform. Click on this, please. Log into the practice platform. Let me know when you're done till here. Those of you who have the ID password, please put in and click on sign into my ACCA. Okay. And then towards the right, you will see performance management. Okay. So click on performance management here and click on ACCA official resources. And here you will see past exam library, some practice exams, some specimen exams. So let me show you a practice exam here. This is a pre-March 2025 mock exam. Okay, you will be seeing an assign button here. Please click on assign. Are you able to follow me till here? I've clicked on performance management, then ACCA official resources, and under practice exams, I am clicking on pre-March 2025 mock exam. Click on assign. Once you click on assign, you will see that a tab will open up here. I'm having multiple tabs. I've opened many papers in the past, so that's why it is showing for me. So you will see this new tab coming up here, which is pre-March 2025 mock exams. Click on this and you will see PM paper showing over here. PM pre-March 2025 mock exam showing over here. So you have to click on resume. Click on resume. Right? And then they will show you how a paper looks like. So I'm going to be covering this paper in a lot of detail in the class. You, of course, don't know the concepts yet, but I just want you to walk through how a paper looks like. Those of you who have attempted papers before will find it easily relatable. Those of you who are appearing for any ACC exam for the first time, this is like a must see before you head on to the preparation journey. Okay. So section A, this section consists of 15 objective test questions. Okay. As I mentioned to you, each question is worth 2 marks and is compulsory. So total will be 30 marks. Now let's click on next. Now let's see the type of objective test questions which can come. Here, you are given with a lot of data points. You're given with a lot of data points. And this is the requirement. Using high-low method, what is the estimated conversion cost for next quarter if the production capacity to be utilized is estimated to be so and so hours? You will be doing this calculation using your rough sheets. If you're going for a center-based exam, you get rough sheet. You won't get it in a remote exam. So in a center-based exam, you will get a rough sheet. You can use your rough sheet. You can use calculator to solve the question. Okay, and whatever number you get, you will have to input it over here. So let's say I'm getting 12. Randomly I'm putting, okay. So I've put in 12. Okay, so that is what is required here. Now, if you want to, use a calculator, which you can see here, this is available, but it's a strict no from my side. Please don't use it. It looks very, I don't know, not user-friendly. To be clicking and typing numbers, it's just too much of time taking. So refrain from using this calculator. Please carry your own calculator in the exam. That will be better. Okay. So this is a scientific calculator which is available. And you will also get a standard calculator, which is your normal plus minus divide multiplication. All of that you will be able to do. And this is scientific calculator also, which is available for your use over here. But of course, you won't be using sine, cos, and all, so not needed. In fact, I would suggest just carry your own calculator. And somewhere, if you need any Excel help, I will tell you there's a limited 2-3 places. I'll say that instead of doing it in a calculator, please go to any section C question and do it. How to do it, that also I'll tell you. So for example, in this question itself, you need to use Excel. You are not able to do a particular calculation. Wherever it will come, I'll tell you in the syllabus section. So you need Excel for that. What you can simply do is go to the navigator button here in the in the bottom right corner. And if you go to any question in section C, see here you will get heading wise. If you go to any question in section C, I'm randomly opening question number 32. It is possible that, okay, here it is like a Word file. Let's check the previous one. See here you're getting Excel. So if there is a particular computation which happens very fast in Excel, please come to any question in section C, do the calculation, delete it, because you can easily delete the data. No? So whatever you have done here, let's say you have done a sum. Once you're done, you've got the number. You just copy that number and go to the particular question which you were solving. So we were in question number 1. So you can just put that number over here, whatever you're getting. Okay, but that will be in a very limited cases. Most of the calculation you will be able to do on the calculator itself. Are you able to follow me so far? All of you? Yes? Okay. So let's move to the next question. So this is a type of objective test question where you'll have to do the calculation on a calculator and input the number over here. Then next, this is a typical MCQ question. You have to select one. So just observe one thing, that here you had to select one option. No? It was not mentioned that you have to select multiple options. So wherever you have to select one option, they will not specify. It is deemed that if nothing is specified, you have to select just one option. So here, let's say I'm selecting this. One thing to be observed here is these are round buttons. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this later. But just observe that these are round buttons. Here you have to select one option. Then I click on next. Here also round buttons. I have to select one option only because nothing is specified. So I have to assume that it's just one option that I have to select. So it's also an MCQ question. And here also it's an MCQ question. I'm not reading the question. You won't understand it now. Okay, few features that you might need is like a highlight button. While reading the question, if you find that, okay, this is a very important thing, that it's an investment center, you can click on highlights. And, it doesn't get submitted. So you don't have to worry, like, should I delete all the highlights? Because just, in the previous batch, I got a query from the student, ma'am, do I need to undo all the highlights I've done? No, it won't get submitted. So it doesn't matter whether you remove it, keep it, it's on you. Okay. And ma'am, you said that in exam, in remote-based exam, we will not get a rough sheet. And then where will we do our rough calculations? So you can use a scratch pad. A scratch pad is available to you. Whatever you scribble over here, it does not get submitted. Okay? Whatever you want to type, you can type it here. It won't get submitted. So this function is also available. So calculator I've shown you, scratch pad I've shown you, highlight I've shown you. This only will be useful. Strike through is, it provides you to strike through some text, but I don't see the utility of it in exam. Why will you want to strike through something in the question? Unless you feel that it's completely useless and you would not want to read it again. I don't see much use of it. Highlight I've told you. Dollar symbol, you get the options of multiple symbols over here. Again, I don't see much of its utility in the PM paper at least. So this is available. And also one more very important thing which is available to you is the help oblique formula sheets. So the exam instructions, do one thing. See, I'm also covering the entire exam flow with you, but consider reading it once on your own, end to end. Just read it on your own. See, you will get it in exam also. Okay. One second. Yeah. So you can, of course, read these instructions in exam, but I don't want you to be wasting your precious time precious exam time on reading instructions. So what you have to do is read the instructions at home itself. Maybe today, maybe even after 1 week, after 1 month, that's fine. It's just that I want you to read the instructions before you get into the exam hall. Because time total will be available. You won't get special extra time. So read the instructions properly before exam itself. All these instructions, anyways, I'm discussing with you, but you'll get them here as well. Okay, so that is the exam instructions available. Then constructed response. CR means constructed response. Question help. So I'll come to this later when we discuss the constructed response questions. And PM formula sheet. Now this is very important. A formula sheet will be provided to you. See, few important formula. You don't have to memorize them. You will get them in the formula sheet only. Okay. So regression analysis is given. Then this is the correlation formula that is also given to you. Learning curve formula is given to you. And demand curve formula. These are few formula which will be provided. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 formula are provided to you in exam. You will not have to memorize it. Okay, you can just quickly open this formula sheet, refer to the formula here and solve the question like you want. Okay, so that was the formula sheet. Now you can click on next. Here also, you just have to select one option because nothing is specified that you need to select multiple. So I'm selecting one, and anyways, the box over here is also round. Now indicate by clicking on the relevant boxes in the table below. What is the performance that is measured by the following KPI that is currently adopted by a government hospital? So patient to doctor ratio, let's say it's talking about efficiency or economy. You have to select one. And readmission rate of patient, let's say it's talking about efficiency. Okay, so I've selected that. So see, I cannot select more than two. Let's I want to select efficiency here. I want to select effectiveness here. I can unselect this by clicking on it again. See how I'm doing it. So all of these questions, they come under objective test questions. Again, you have to select one. It's an MCQ. Here you have to type in your answer. Select one. They have already written the $sign outside the box. You will not need to type it again. So in this way, MCQ question, then, choice questions, which we did for like economy efficiency one. Then fill in the blanks question. These types of questions, they come. So some questions will come where you have to select multiple options also. That's why I was trying to highlight that it didn't come here. But in some questions now, they will give you select 2, select 3, select 4. And you will get the marks only if you select all 4 of them correctly. If there's even one wrong, your marks will be gone. Okay, in one option where you have to select one option, then that is right or wrong only. But in questions asking you to select 2 options, 3 options, then all of them have to be selected correctly to get you marks. If even any one of them is wrong, you will lose all the marks. There is no proportionate marking in section A or B. It is either right or wrong. Nothing in between. Okay. So that was section A. Now let's move to section B. For the questionnaire, we flag for review. If we answered it and it is still flagged during submission, will we get the marks? Yes, yes. Flag for review is for your purpose. Even if it is flagged for review and you have submitted the exam, it will be marked by the computer. Okay, it will be marked. And then comes section B. As I told you, there will be 3 questions, and each of these questions will contain 5 sub-questions, and these are also objective test, and they carry 2 marks each. Now look at this. This type of a scenario is given and it relates to questions 16 to 20. So 1 to 15 is section A, 16 to 20, this is the scenario. Okay. So such a detailed scenario will be there. If you want to resize the screen, you can do that also. Okay, so such a detailed question will come. And you don't have to keep reading it again and again for each of the, questions 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Just read it once because the same scenario will be given to you in different sub-questions. So let's say I'm randomly selecting this. The same scenario. Here you have to calculate and put something. I'm putting that. See here. Which 2 of the following, where you had to select 2 options, they wrote it specifically for you that you have to select 2, and here see, the shape of the box has changed. From round, it has become square. If I try to select 3, will it let me? It will let you. Then if I click on next, what happens? Let's see. It is taking submission also, but in exam, it won't take submission. You'll be allowed to select only 2. Only if you try to select 3rd, it will show a warning. Okay, so be careful. If the question is asking you to select 2 only. Okay. So let's have selected that. Then again, here also, same scenario is running. So don't start reading it again and again. The theory as well as practical. Are you observing that? That PM is not a completely practical paper or not a completely theory paper. It's a mix. You can see here, this is a theory question. So mostly there is a 50-50% split between theory and practical. About 50 marks for theory questions and about 50 marks for practical questions. So they try to maintain that balance. Then I click on next. Now see, there's a new scenario coming in. GT Technology Company. Okay. So now you will have to read the scenario again and solve the next 5 questions. So let's say I'm selecting this. You're also randomly selecting something. So all these first 3 questions were practical. You could see that there were number selection you were making. Here it's a theory question. Here see, I have to select 2. I'm getting the box in square shape. I click on next. See, 3rd scenario comes in. It's question number 26. So the 3rd scenario starts here. You'll have to read the scenario in detail and then try these questions here till question number 30. Now state whether they are correct or false. So you'll have to select whatever you want to select. Please don't select both correct and incorrect. You'll not get any marks. So let's say I'm selecting this randomly. And then I click on next. Okay. So let's say, Ume, just for your query, I flagged this question for review. Okay, I flagged question number 30 for review and I'm selecting this option. For the timing, I've selected it, but I'm not very confident that this is the right one. So I'm selecting it for the sake of selection because there are no negative marks. But once my paper is complete, I will come back to it to review the answer which I have chosen. So I select it and then click next. Now comes section C. There will be 2 constructed response questions and each question will be worth 20 marks each. Now I click on next here and look at this. So this is the type of question which will come to you in section C. This is the scenario you'll have to read and prepare a profit table showing all the possible profits. Okay, so using the data which is given to you, a lot of data is given. I've tried this question before. So a lot of data points are there and you have to use it to prepare a table. And it is carrying 9 marks. See, all the questions we saw so far, they were carrying just 2 marks. This question is carrying 9 marks. Once I'm done with it, I will move to next. But before I move to next, I want to spend some time here on the spreadsheet that you are able to see on your screen. Okay, so this spreadsheet is similar to MS Excel, which we use on our laptops. But the problem is that only few basic shortcuts work over here. Not all MS Excel shortcuts would work. Okay. So what you have to do is get yourself accustomed to this, Excel. Every once in a while, see, while I might say, solve it in Excel and do whatever, but every once in a while, just any random question you want, maybe every week one question, please come to the ACCA practice platform and use this functionality to solve those questions. Because I want you to be comfortable with this software. It takes time. So if you plan that, okay, I will solve everything in pen and paper or solve everything in Excel and in exam date, I will see what I have to do. Don't do that mistake. It's a blunder. Become comfortable with the routine things. That this is what the tool is going to look like. So I become accustomed to this only. Okay. So please keep in mind, you may note it down every once in a while, maybe every week or every 10 days, whatever you're comfortable with. But you have to open this practice platform, solve any question from the book. You can solve any question from the book and solve it here. Just I want you to use this spreadsheet. That's all. Your typing speed would improve. Your ability to handle the tool in exam will improve. So that's why. Okay. Why so? Why did you feel that, Umer? So Umer is saying that the Excel sheet given in exam is even worse than this. Any reason? Can you share with us? It was different. Like how? What was different? I was trying to understand. Because mostly it will be this only. It's something that they mention in the platform also, that the Excel spreadsheet will be similar to this. You could not drag the formula, but the control. Okay, so one thing is, 1 second. So let's say I've written 1, I've written 2, I've written sum dot. I'm summing it up. Okay, I've written 6, I've written 7. I've written 2, I've written 9, I've written 1, I've written 10. Okay, I want the sum for all of this. So one is I, go and type equals to sum in each of these cells. Or what I could do is, I'll delete this. I press Control C and Control V. See, it is updating the formula on its own. I didn't type it manually anywhere. It just, automatically updated the formula. Okay. Understood. So the problem which Umair is highlighting is that you could do Control C. You could do Control V also, but like what I did over here, I pressed Control C and selected all the boxes and did Control V now. So what Umair is telling that in the exam, and thank you for sharing that, Umair. So in exam, what you will experience is, you will be able to just recheck also, because I'm not very sure. I was of the opinion that the drag function works, but since Umair has given the exam very recently, so what he's mentioning is your Control C, then you do Control V here once, Control V here once, and then Control V here. You can't Control V together. It is possible, I'm not denying, but please cross-check that for your also. In the exam itself, you'll be able to do it, but on the tool it allows. So I was under the assumption it will allow to drag and copy paste, but be careful about these small things. And that's why I would suggest, at least the bare minimum, you should become comfortable with this tool itself. So, like, for example, let me tell you one thing. You can't add or delete rows here. Okay, so let's say I have written so by mistake, I have, missed adding something. So normally in Excel, what you do, you select the column and you add the row. Add the column to the left or the right, whatever you want. But that function is not available here. So what you'll have to do is, you'll have to select this and move it across so that I can type it now. GHI. So drag, copy, paste will work, but you cannot insert rows or columns or even delete rows and columns. The way it is given to you, it will stay this way only. And also the number of rows and columns are restricted. Number of columns are restricted up to CV and number of rows are restricted up to 300. So don't worry about this. I'm just telling you for information because no answer will stretch beyond this. Not even like 100, 150 rows it will extend. So don't have to worry about it. But yes, you should know that the number of rows and columns are restricted. Okay. So this is what in the exam she moved the items of formula. This I'm actually hearing for the first time. I'm not sure if they made any changes this time or something. So what Umair is saying is that, see, normally what happens that if I move this, I am pressing Control X and I'm placing it here. The formula also moves along with it. Okay, the formula also moves along with it. But Umair mentions that in exam, I think this does not work. Your formula gets messed up if you do drag and copy paste. The formula remains same, maybe. So please do a basic sense check during exam. It's crucial to do that. But first, become comfortable here. Some small minor problems you may face on this tool itself. And Umair shares that there have been worse problems on the exam tool. You can't help it. You have to live with the tool. Okay. So there are some minor glitches. I'm sure ACC will work towards it, for correcting it in the future. But make sure you do some hygiene checks also. Okay. Now coming to the different functionalities which are available here. So this is the reset button. This will reset everything which is there on the answer script. I don't find it useful. You can ignore it. Then there is this cut functionality. So you can cut something. Okay, now what is the keyboard shortcut for cut? What is the keyboard shortcut for cut? Control X. So that will work here. Now you don't have to click on this to cut data. Just select whatever you want to cut now. Let's say you want to cut this. Control X. And wherever you want to paste it, let's say I want to paste it here. I press Control V. Okay, I press Control V. And you will see now that the formula is not taking this because I've put it outside of the range. So cut paste works. Control C is for copy. Control X is for cut. And Control V is for pasting. Whether you have cut or copied. For pasting, you need to use Control V. Okay. And all of these functionalities are available over here. This is cut. This is copy. And this is paste. Okay. Then format painter is available, but I don't see much of its utility. Then next you have undo button. Ma'am, what is undo? Let's say I want to undo pasting the content over here. So I press Control Z. See, it again came back here. I want to redo it. I press Control Y. See, it again went there. So Control Z is undo and Control Y is redo. Okay. So even those buttons are available over here. Then magnification percentage is available like 25, 50, 500, 200. So I would say not to touch this. Anyways, you should be able to solve it in 100% magnification. Okay. Then we have on the different typing styles like bold. How do you do bold? Control B. How do you do italics? Control I. How do you do underline? Control U. So these basic keyboard shortcuts would work. Then you can color the cell. So for example, I want to color this red. I can color it. I don't find it useful. You may ignore this option. You won't need to be coloring the different cells. But one option which might be useful here is the paint option. So you can consider highlighting like this. What I've done now, I've filled the cell with a particular color. You can also do it while closing a particular question's answer. The final answer may be highlighted like this. It's a recommendation which you can adopt. So this is the paint fill function. Then you have alignment functions like left alignment, center alignment, right alignment. Okay. Then you click on 00. Ma'am, what does this do? In fact, I would suggest not to go from here. What you should do is, ma'am, I want to present this 2 up to 2 decimal places. Okay, for example, I've written a certain number up to. Okay. And it's showing only up to 2 decimal places. Ma'am, I want to show it up to 4 decimal places. What should I do? Click on this particular cell, right click, okay? And click on format cells. And then you go to number. So you want up to 5 decimal places. So what you do, number format, point. So I wrote 5 times 0 and I'm clicking on apply. See, 5 times decimal place it is showing. So format cell function is available to, do the formatting of the data that you have put. Different features are available. So like for number, I've shown you here. For currency, it is available. Like for example, I convert this into a not useful for the PM paper, but still I'm just telling you it is available. See, 6 came before the euro. That's how it does it. And then format cells again. Date won't be useful, time won't be useful. Percentage, if you want to convert, you can just click on the percentage button here also. This one, and it will convert into percentage. Fraction, scientific, you won't need. So for example, I want to convert 0.5 into percentage. So what will I do? I will go to the cell and select percentage here. Up to how many decimal? 2 decimal or 1 decimal? Let's say I want up to 1 decimal. So 50%. Okay. So in this way, you are able to format the data, control B, can bold it. So all of this can be done. Now please let me know if you are with me so far. Anyone having any query? Okay. So now we'll move to the I am exempted from MA paper. Will I face any difficulty in the PM paper because of this? No. No, dear. No difficulty. Let me tell you, I follow this approach across all my papers. I will be telling you concept of each paper as if you are hearing it, seeing it, listening about it, whatever, for the very first time. As if you don't know anything about it. I'll build that concept from the very foundation. So don't have to worry that, ma'am, I was exempted from the previous papers. No need to worry. In fact, I teach AFM students the way, even the FM concepts I tell them at the AFM paper. So you don't have to worry about missing out on the MA paper also. Okay? Everything will be covered in the class and you will be able to follow. All right. So, yeah, this was question number 31. And then I can move to question number, let's say, 32. This is a theory question. And here you can see that, the word file is given to you. Now, what I would tell you here is that copy paste works. Huh? You can copy from here also. You can copy from here as well. So let me just copy this and show you. So I copy this, Control C and Control V. See, I don't have to type it again. I can just, press enter, 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 take it to the bottom so that I can solve it later. First, I'll solve max. I can make it Control B. And then I can type in the answer. Max approach is useful for investors having an optimistic view. Okay, so for example, I've written this statement. Then I want to use maximin. So what I can do is I can go and select this, press Control B and Control V. So this is maximin is useful for investors having a pessimistic view. Okay, I'm writing one line now. So in this way, I'm writing the answer. Okay, I'll fill up the part. And if I want to press delete, I can simply press backspace, or I can press delete button, whatever you are comfortable with. So you can copy paste also. For example, I want to copy this statement here. You do that. I can copy from question also. See, this is available, right? And your basic functions like undo, redo, copy, paste, cut, all of that will be available. Bold, italics, underline will be available. If you want to strike through something, I don't see much use of it, but yes, it is available. So I want to strike through this, so I strike it off. This is something you can do. Then, subscript, superscript is available. Then what is subscript, superscript? Let me show you. So I want to take it to the bottom. So I'll select E and I'll click on this. So it makes it a subscript. Then I want to take something to the head. So I select that and click on this. So I hope you understand what this function is for, superscript and subscript. I don't see it will be very useful for you in the PM paper. Then this is clear formatting function, again, not needed. Then here you have the option to insert tables. Then why would I insert tables? I can use Excel. See, you are going to get just one response option for each of the question. So you can't just use Excel. And more so here, see, it is a theory question. So a table might be needed to, give a proper layout to the answer. Okay, so for example, you might choose to write like this. Okay, like max, then min I want to solve here, and then mini max regret. And whatever numbers I'm getting, I may want to write in this tabular format. So this is also why tables are useful. So you can use this approach as well to solve theory questions. But we'll practice a lot of questions, so you'll get accustomed as to how you should be writing the answer. So this function is available. Then alignment is available. So let's say I want to keep this left alignment. That's okay. I want to make it center. See, center alignment, right alignment, or justified alignment. Justified alignment is more useful for writing paragraphs. So you can use it, or you can simply use the left alignment. That's easier for the eyes to read the answer. Then you can make bulleted lists, which is also very useful. Now let's say I want to make a bulleted list of this. So I can click on bullets. Okay. I can click make it a numbered list also. See? Bullets, numbered list. I want to take this to the right indent. I want to move it slightly towards the right. So I click on this. See? I can move it backward also. So all of these functions work. Print function won't be useful. Why would you want to print your answer script? So no need of that. But yes, all of these features are available. Please go through all the functions. Let me know if you're fine. If you're having any queries, please feel free to ask. Yeah, so Deborah, your exams will be on a tool like this only. That's why I'm walking through this in detail. Okay. Let me know if it's fine. Any feature you want me to explain again? Anything that you want to ask? Okay. Ask that. Okay, there's one function I skipped telling you here. So let me tell you that. So, yes, I was talking about the format cells function. So if you click on any cell over here, any cell, you will get right click. You'll get format cells function. You can format the numbers like the way you want. So this decimal part I explained to you. You want to insert it as any currency, you can make it any currency. See, it became $2. Okay. Then again, format cells, date time you won't need, percentage, how many decimal places you want, you can do that. Then fraction you won't need, scientific you won't need. Alignment is there, left, center, right. Now, there's a wrap text function. So, let me show you something. Writing a long statement, but I want it to be only visible. Okay, so I write this over here. See what happens. It just goes inside. Okay, it doesn't show properly. But I want it to be fully visible. So what I can do is right click, format cells, go to alignment and click on wrap text and click OK. And see, it will start showing like this. You can change the width of the rows and columns. You can double click to auto adjust. So this is something you can use. Okay. You can't add or delete row or column, but yes, you can resize the existing rows and columns like this. Please let me know, did you understand what I've done? I right clicked and clicked alignment and then did wrap text. So it wraps the text inside a particular cell. You can resize the cell as per your convenience. Okay. And then this border function is also available. You can add borders, select a color, and then select border style. Like, let's say I want this one or this one. Not useful, but it is available. Okay. So see, format cells and border, select the color and apply. Somehow it's not complete. See, you can add such a box, okay, but not very useful. But this feature is available, okay. You will have to select the color, the style, outline what you want. So this you can use, but not useful. So these are all the features which are available to you in a section C answer script, and this is what was reflected here also. If you want to read more about it in detail, you can read here what each of these functions do: undo, redo, then find and replace. So let's say I want to find and replace this, so I can press Control F. Okay, let's say I want to replace visible and okay, replace with, let's say, seen. So replace all and this function is not working somehow. I don't know why. It should have worked. But again, not much useful as a function. You can get it by pressing Control F. Try again. And replace with seen. It's not working. Okay. So this find and replace function is available. Somehow it is not working in Excel. Let me try this in Word. Let's see if it works here or not. I press Control F. I want to replace approach with style. Find and replace. See, here it worked. Excel, it is not working. Spreadsheet, it is not working, but it is working in the Word file. Okay. So this is something you can use. This is what is given here. Constructed response, question help. The different features which are available. We have covered most of them. So you don't have to really need, you won't need it. But yeah, like I was mentioning now, you cannot enter or delete rows or columns. You can right click and find the format cells. You can format as you want. Okay. So this is something which is available to you. Let me just go back to the previous one. Yeah. So here we have covered. And then so again, one more thing which I can talk about. Useful. If you want to push something towards the little right, let's say you want to push this point slightly to the right, below point 2 itself. I click on this. See? You can, move things to the right. I want to move it back. I can, decrease the indent here. Okay, I want to remove it from the bulleted list or numbered list. I can press this. And then also I can move it. Okay? So these are all the functions which are available. This won't be needed. It's a paragraph style. Let it be a paragraph style. More or less, these all are the functions. Please take your time, go through it. Let me know if it's okay. Any function, or maybe in Excel also, if you want me to explain any function again, let me know. Ma'am, does merge cell function work in spreadsheet? No. You will not be able to merge the cells. You can do it in MS Excel, but you can't do it in the tool over here. Or any question if you're getting in mind, ma'am, will I be able to do this or that? Please feel free to ask. Ma'am, can I use formula in Excel? Of course. Yes. Like I was showing you also, like this. You know, you can sum up. See, you can sum. The basic functions will work. Average. And in fact, if I write average, like any part of it, and I press tab, it completes the formula. So now I want to find out the average of these two. Close the brackets. It gives me an average also. So basic formula, they work. Or any question, if it is coming in your mind, please feel free to ask. I've covered most of the common points. Go through it. Have a look at the features here. Any question, whether this works, not works, you can ask. Will we be able to reattempt the mock if we have already taken it once? Yes, yes. I'll show you how you can do that. I'll show you that. Features are clear? Excel and Word, both? Anything coming to your mind you want to ask? All right. So if it's clear, then we'll move ahead. Now let's go to the next question. Next. Now it's a new scenario. See, lorry consultancy company. It relates to 3 requirements. This is, you know, C1. Okay, this is from the previous one only. And this completes the 20 marks here. Then we can move to the next question. Talent development company. It relates to 2 requirements. See, as I told you, there's no split of marks mentioned by ACCA. It can be any split. So previous one was split into 3 questions. This one is split into 2 questions. And this is a theory one. 4 marks here. And then this balance scorecard. So they've given you a format. See, you just have to fill in the data in this format. Okay, which KPI you will use here. Let's say you are using earnings per share. So you have to type in the answer in the format, and this is being given by ACCA only, examining team. Justification, why do you want to use this? Okay, so you'll have to fill in the table like this. It might, question might come like this, and you'll have to attempt in this way. Okay, see, it's given. Use the balance scorecard template provided below to structure your answer. So with this, once your paper is done, you click on next. Click on next. And let's review the flagged questions. This question we had flagged, remember? So it is taking me back to the flagged question. And if I want to change it, keep it, whatever I want to do, it's okay. Like even if I don't remove the flag, the answer will get submitted. Okay, since Umair specifically asked about this. Okay, and it goes to the last question. And again, I want to end the exam. Click on next. I've completed it. Any question which I do not attempt, it will show to me here like this, incomplete. I did not attempt a few questions, so they're showing me that you have not attempted them. And I click on end exam. It will ask me, are you sure you want to end it? Click on yes. Again, they will ask, because once you click on this, there is no going back. Your exam will get submitted. And you can't recall it. So are you sure you want to end the exam? Yes. So your exam is now complete. This is done. Exit. Now, ma'am, I want to attempt the mock exam once again. Is it done? Will I not be able to see the mock again? Nothing like that. You will be able to see it. I'll show you how. But before that, I want to tell you that this paper which you have submitted, you can see the right answers, the correct model answers of it also. Ma'am, where do we see that? You have to click on the mark tab over here. Okay, click on the mark tab and you will see the exam which you have submitted. See, I submitted this right now, no? PM 8th March. It is showing me here. I'll click on self-mark. I'll click on self-mark. And see. So randomly I was selecting some answers. So out of the 60 marks, see, section C will not get evaluated. Section A and B has been evaluated by a computer and I got some 18 marks. I was out of the random selections I made. And see here, question number 1, I had randomly typed 1, but the correct answer is 25,95,000. So what is the explanation for that 25,95,000? You can see the answer over here. Ma'am, I forgot what the question was. You can see the question also. See, question stem, show and hide you can do. Okay. So the question will be visible here. The answer is visible here. And you can click on second question like that. Okay. And every answer and its explanation is given to you over here. And similarly for section C also. So similar you will see for section A. And so, for section C, they won't give you the marks. You will have to check the answer from the model answer. Ma'am, how do I see the model answer? This was the question scenario. And this was exactly the question. Prepare a profit table showing all the possible profits. And this is what I had written randomly. Now I want to see the right answer. So before you see the right answer, I want you to see what the guideline is which is given to the ACCA examiners team. So see, they'll be given a marking guide like this. So if you make the profit table correctly, you get 9 marks. 1 mark per profit value. And for, now what is the model answer? For the first one, 1 second. There is something off here. This is the marking guide for question number 31. And what is the answer? Let's see. See, this is the model answer. Profit table. All the computations, they have given it to you how, the workings have been done. See, properly referenced workings, working note 1, 2, 3, and then working notes are given to you. Okay, working note 2, working note 3. So like that, they have given you the working notes. Okay, so this is something which you can do. You can see the question, you can see the answer. And what the marking guide is, how you would have scored the marks. So for question number 32, let's see. What is the guideline that the examiner would get for maxi-max 1 mark, maxi-min 1 mark, mini-max 2 marks. This is the split of marks. And what is the answer? This is the answer. Okay. So how you have given the answer, this is how, this should have been solved. This is the illustrative, suggestive answer. Similarly, for question number 33 also, you can see the marking guideline. I did not write anything, so it is showing blank to me. This will be the marking guideline. So you get step marks. You will get step marks in the paper. In section C. See, section A and B, no step mark. Either it is right or wrong. In section C, you do get step mark. If you have done any part of it correctly, you will get the mark for it. Like, you have to explain the rationale, then illustrate the scenario, then indicate the risk appetite. So if you're doing it for all the 3 decision rules, into 3, you get the full mark 6. And then 1 decision rule suggested 0.5, and why you have selected that? 0.5. So this is the level of granularity at which marks are awarded to you. And examiners use it. Now, what is the answer? See, this is the answer. So you can practically see this for all the question papers which are available on the practice platform. You will be able to see the answer. Okay, I'm sure now you are able to follow. Okay, similarly, question number 35. Like, see, this is what I had written, what the answer is. The KPI, it should have been ROC. I had randomly written EPS, justification, why, what has been the analysis. So you'll have to prepare your answer like this to get the marks. So it was a long one. It was scanning how many marks? 16 marks. So of course it will be a long answer. Please tell me, all good? Anyone having any query? What the marking guideline was? See, this was the marking guideline. No negative marking. Nothing. I mentioned this. I mentioned this earlier as well. There is no negative marking at all. Okay. All right. So once this is done now, you can go back. So a lot of questions are available to you. Let me take you back to the home. Look at this. ACCA official resources, past exam library. So in the past exam library now, however, you will not see section A and B questions. Only section C questions are given to you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 past exam questions. Then 3 proper full question papers. These are, here you will get section A and B, and of course C questions also. And then specimen exam. 1 specimen exam is also available. So 11, 12. 12 papers are available to you, out of which here you will just get the section C questions. And of course, you will get the answer. So once you've attempted the paper, you have submitted the paper. If you go to the mark tab, you will be able to see the answer to it. Okay. Ma'am, I want to reattempt the mark. You just did all this jumbling here. I want to reattempt the mark later properly. So what I will do is, I will click on this exam I had attempted now, PM 3 March 2025. I'll click on unassign. Okay, and then you will see it will go away. See, it went away from here. I click on assign again. Let's see, it will start showing. Give it some time. See, it is now showing again. If I click on start, it will be a fresh paper. So you can attempt any paper as many times as you want. Okay, everyone. So this was a walk of the ACCA practice platform. How exams will be given, what type of questions you can expect in exam, the length of the scenarios, the length of the answers. See, of course, the length which you are seeing on the screen, that's not something expected out of your exact copy paste. I'll address that point as well. But this is how overall the exam questions and answers look like. Let me know if any question comes to your mind, any follow-on question you have, any doubt. Please take your time. I'll wait here for some time. Any questions that you're getting in your mind, please ask. Let me know if it is fine, not fine, any doubts that you have. All clear? Those of you who are seeing this for the first time, especially you, is it clear? Are you able to follow what the paper is going to look like, the type of questions? Yes? Okay. So, on that note, let us come back to the slide. So I've talked about trainings from VGLD, second ACCA Study Hub, CBE Practice Platform. Next is ACCA Examiner's Report. So let me see, you can see in our past exam library, all the past papers are available like for March, June 2024, then September, December 24. So all of these past papers are available to you. Now, once you are attempted these papers, I'll tell you when and how that will happen. I'll come to the preparation strategy also in the upcoming slides. So once you've done that now, what you should do is type ACCA, go to accaglobal.com. accaglobal.com and then click on students and then study support resources. You may do it along with me. I'll wait for you. Go to accaglobal.com. This will be available to all of you, whether or not you have the login ID or password or not. accaglobal.com. Then hover over students section and click on study support resources. accaglobal.com, then students, then study support resources. Please click on this and let me know when you're here. Just type in a yes when you're done. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. You can see. All right. Now you click on ACCA qualification. Click on ACCA qualification and click on performance management. Click on performance management. And then scroll down. Scroll down. And you will see this examiner's report over here. Please check. Examiner's report. Are you able to see? Yes. Now click on that. Examiner's report. Now This is very useful, but not something you will read across all of these reports. One or two papers, one or two past papers, whatever you appeared. So for the recent ones, let's say, whatever papers you appear, you click on this examiner's report. Once you have solved that, once you have solved the paper, click on examiner's report here. And what is this? So here, the examiners team, literally those people who have checked the papers of students, they give feedback. Ma'am, section A and B questions won't be available. Yes, section A and B questions are not available on the practice platform, but still you will get a hint of the type of questions which came. See, this question came, let's say in section A. So the examiner team is telling like what the students did well in this question, or or were they not good, or what was the common mistake which the students made. So like this is one of the questions which came. Okay, what does this test, what is the correct answer, how to do the calculations. So for any one or two papers, once you're done attempting them, please open this file and see what are the mistakes which other students are making and you have to avoid. At least for section C, it's available for section C questions also. Let me take you there. See, this was the question and all you will get on the practice platform. And the answer also you will get. But what are the mistakes which students made? See, let me show you some points. See, head office costs were the most challenging, with few candidates correctly calculating these and allocating them to the correct place in the statement. The head office costs provided are for 1 month. The first step is to calculate the cost for a full year, for example, blah, blah, blah. So this is how they're explaining that, this was one point which students made mistakes a lot. See, even when we are studying, I'll also keep telling you this is a common mistake. Please mark it. Keep this in mind. But when you really read it for one or two papers, you will be able to understand better and you will definitely avoid these mistakes in exam. So try it, keep it in mind that later on when you practice the papers, you will read this examiner's report. Okay, it will be helpful. So let me show you some other feedback. Let me find some other. So when you read it in detail, of course, you'll find a lot of points. I'm trying to see some commonly made mistakes. See, theory question. The comments on the relative performance of the division scored fewer marks. So students, they give calculations correctly, but the comments did not get as much marks as the calculations. And it's a common weak point. Please understand that it's going to be a 50-50% split of theory and practical questions. Now, when I say theory questions, it's not like you have to cram up all the concepts in the class and then repeat it like a parrot. No. It will be scenario-based theory questions and very practical-oriented theory questions. But yes, you have to write descriptive lines. So keep this out of your mind that, you just have to do calculations. Doing calculations only will help you pass. No, it's a 50-50 split. You'll have to write also. And some of the section A and B questions will also be theory questions only. So make sure you do a comprehensive preparation. Okay, and not just focus on question solving, practical question solving only. Read a lot of theory questions, which are again available in the book only. Okay, let's do it. Consider reading this examiner's report once you are done with the paper solving. Okay. Now let us come back. So ACCA's examiner's report is done. And last is ECCA technical articles. Let me show you what they are. See here only. So just above examiner's report, you will see a section called technical articles. See, this is completely recommendatory, not mandatorily you have to do it. but resources are available, so I want you to be aware about it. So topic-wise, detailed explanation. So let's say, what is big data? Big data is something we will cover in class, and we will cover it in as much length as is expected for you in exam. But let's say you're having some free time, you're munching some snacks and you want to read some article, you are traveling in a metro, you're having some free time, you want to spend it, properly. You can randomly open any of the articles which we have covered in the class. Don't start reading anything new. I don't want you to come to the class with some notion. Come to the class with a clean slate. For this, any topic which we have covered in the class, you find that here in the article list. Open that. So, for example, big data is there, and you can read about it. What is big data? Sources of big data, characteristics. This you will learn in the class also. What are the characteristics? Here you might find some more examples. So when you read so much about a particular topic, now it starts just getting absorbed. So this is what you can gain from these technical articles. A lot of detailed discussion is available. See, it's a lengthy article. So if you're having some free time, you can use this resource. Again, completely recommendatory. It's nothing like you won't pass if you don't do it. You will pass. It's just that your chances of passing becomes better if you are having a very strong hold on a particular. So this is something you can, refer to. What is the big data pyramid? All of this is there in the syllabus. You can read more, and of course you will learn more if you do that. Okay. So these are the top 5 resources. Please stick to this only. Don't run helter-skelter doing random things. Don't waste your time. Use it cautiously. Use it, properly. So what will you do in the class? First is trainings from VGLD. Then ACCA study hub. 2 sections which I showed you, quiz section and flashcards. Practice platform for past exam and mock exam. So currently what we solved was March 2025 mock exam. So for June, it will be released around 7th to 8th of May. So you should definitely, without fail, without any, discussion on it, you should definitely try out this mock exam for the June attempt. So then this March mock will be taken out of the portal and you will start seeing June paper there. So it's a must do before exam on the practice platform. Then 4th is your ACCA's examiner's report. You may read 1 or 2 papers and ACCA technical articles. It's completely recommendatory. Whichever articles you find interesting or you're finding a particular topic difficult, of course, reach out to me first. I'll help you out there. Still, you want to read more? Go to the technical articles. You'll get a lot of detailed examples on it. Please let me know if you're all, able to follow me so far. Yes? All right. So let's do one thing. Let's take a break here. We'll break for some time. Please refresh yourself, have some food, and then we will continue our discussion. Okay, we'll catch up in some 15-20 minutes. All right, see you after the break. Hello everyone, welcome back from the break. Let's continue our discussion. So we were talking about the top resources which you need to pass the exam. Now we will move ahead. So the skills required. Practice questions on Excel Word. Now I'll take some time here. Please pay attention. All of you, are you back from the break? It's very important. It's something that we're discussing now. All of you back? Talk. Okay. So, practice questions on Excel Word. So this I mentioned to you that for section A and B, you will be using your calculator. And for section C, you will be needing to use the Excel files, right? Now, what you have to do is, please create chapter-wise Excel files, okay? For each chapter, create a one Excel file. See, whatever I'm going to cover in the class, I will share it across with you. All the chapter-wise files, all the notes, whatever that is there, you will get it. But I want you to create your own version of the solution file for each chapter. So whenever I ask you to solve questions in the class, please do it in that one Excel file only for that respective chapter. All the back questions that you solve it in that file. Okay. Now it should be one, one Excel file only for each chapter that you will prepare. That's one thing. Now I'm going to touch upon a very important aspect, and that is the preparation strategy. So I'm going to discuss it in a few parts. First part is your classes. Now, when we are doing the classes, as I mentioned to you, after each chapter is complete, go back to the questions in the backside and practice them. Okay. This will take the maximum time, and this is going to be an exhaustive practice of all the questions. Theory, practical, everything, okay? I'm not asking you to skip anything. Practice all the questions from the backside for each chapter. Okay? After each chapter is done, take your time. And it's not like you can ask me doubts only for a few days for that chapter. You can ask me doubts anytime. Okay, I keep that open. Whenever you're getting doubts, you can ask me for any chapter. We'll take it up in the class. Yes, so first round, you do it along with the classes. First round of practice of the backside questions, do it along with me in the classes itself. Few questions I will cover in the class. Some, whatever doubts you have, you can ask me. That also we will cover. But mostly, of course, I can't cover all the questions. We'll not get that much time. So do all the questions at your side. Wherever you get stuck, ask me. But in this process, you will prepare your own Excel file of all the solutions. Now, while you are doing this practice, what you have to do is, please mark those questions which you found difficult, or you made an error and it was not like a silly mistake, but a proper error that you have made. Okay, you were not able to understand the concept, or you did not apply the concepts correctly, something like that. So mark all those questions. So let us say there are 100 questions. Just taking a round number here. Let's say you have 100 questions. Out of these, 20 questions you will be finding similar, okay, and you would have done them correctly. So about 80 questions will get left. Okay, 100 questions you have done in the first round together with the classes. Then then you have marked all those adjustments, all those questions which you found difficult, and you're going to keep them for the second round. And I'm telling you, it's a very good strategy to do, multiple rounds of revision and get the best preparation done. So this is done with the classes. Wherever you get doubt, we discuss. Now in the second round, that will be after the classes are over. In the second round, this will be a little quicker because you have done all these questions before. But now you know the answers also which you have done earlier. Of course, you might still make errors also. It happens. Now you attempt these 80 questions. About 50% questions you will get it right this time. In some 50% questions, you will still make errors because these are difficult questions. Please mark these questions for the third and the final round, which you will do before the exams. Also, you might not have made an error, but you feel that this question is very exhaustive for the topic. Please mark those questions also. Sometimes I will only tell you that this is a very good question. Keep it in practice. Those types of questions you seclude and you note them down for the third and the final round. That before I go for the exam, I need to touch upon this concept. I will take up this question. So this is how you will, tone down the practice, but improve the quality of your practice. Okay. First round with the class. First, and it will take the maximum time. You will have to prepare all the tabs in that Excel file. You will solve them. Second, also you are solving properly, but you are solving less number of questions and your speed will increase because you have done similar questions and your concepts are now stronger. And third will be the final round just before the exam. This is how you're going to be doing the practice part. Okay. Now coming to the notes part. Those of you who have studied will know that I create a notes sheet in each of the Excel file that we're going to cover. Now, this note sheet will cover the, complicated concepts in simple words with examples and, sometimes some additional points that you need to cover. So these notes, which I'm going to share with you in Excel files after each chapter is complete, please do it in every revision that you do of the questions. Before you take up the next round of question practice, complete all the notes of that chapter. So this will really help you. All the examples also, which I'll put across in the notes, go through them. Your preparation will become rock solid, because a lot of times what happens, students put up doubt questions in the class and I'll simply take them to the notes section. Then look at this section, we have covered this point as it is over here. And then they'll say, yeah, we have understood. So you learn in the class, but then you need to revise those notes also. During first revision, anyways, it will get covered with me only. Second and the third revision, before you take up the question practice, please revise those notes. Also, while we are discussing the book in the class, you find a concept tricky or important, mark those concepts. I'll also keep telling you that this is a good, important concept for exam questions come from this topic. I use these words whenever I say that, please mark those topics. I will not be able to release a list of the important topics. I never do that. It's very risky. Never, it will happen. And I'm only telling you, it will never happen that, questions will come from those topics. Questions can come from any topic. But some questions, I feel that, there are repeated chances of them coming. That only I mentioned. And that I'll mention along with the classes. So you will have to be attentive and mark those questions and topics with the classes. Okay. So how are you going to practice? Question practice 1 in the class, second and third after the class. Notes first round with the class, second and third before the question practice of the second and third round. Okay, and any concepts from the book that you need to refer to. Okay, that will be your preparation strategy. I'm telling you, your concepts will become so solid. Any adjustment which comes in the class, in the exam, you'll be able to handle that. Okay, that is your preparation strategy. Am I clear? You want to feel, you want to add something, share your opinion, please let me know. This will be what, this is what I suggest before the exam. And once these 3 rounds are done now, you can attempt past papers. You can attempt mock papers. And then evaluate yourself, because mock papers, past papers, there will be a complete combination of all the concepts. So when you practice them, you will get the confidence that now I'm able to handle jumbled questions, and I'm getting so and so marks because I've shown you how you can see the answers also, and section A and B gets automatically evaluated. This is something that you can do. So classes, multiple rounds of revision, and mock papers. Simple 3-step strategy to pass the exam. If you ask me today, only I've told you this is what you have to gear up for. Am I clear? No? All right. Okay, and yes, please, it's a sincere request, take the classes seriously. Try to be regular in the classes. See, anyways, we are having our classes PTSS, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Be regular. Don't miss the lectures. What happens is you come to one lecture, you don't come to the second lecture. When you come to the third lecture, you will lose the flow. You will not be able to understand me properly. I don't want that to happen. If you are regular in the class, you will 100% understand everything. If you miss and attend, you will lose the flow. And of course, make best use of the live class. See, when you are attending the live lectures now, you can set the pace for the class. Also, if you're finding something difficult, you can ask me right away, ma'am, I need this to be explained again. I'll do that. Whenever whenever I give you questions to solve, I'll give you some time to solve on your own. Okay, let's say I'm doing some topic, activity-based costing, and I'll give you one question to solve on the topic. I'll give you some 5-10 minutes to solve. And then when we discuss the answer, if you have solved, we can discuss your answers also and give you feedback on that this is wrong, this is where you made a mistake. So then your mistakes will start registering with you and you will never repeat those mistakes. So live lectures will definitely help you a lot. So try to attempt them all. And of course, there can be some days you can't attend them. It's out of your hand. then it's okay. You will get video backup of the lectures, but make sure you watch those video backup ASAP, okay? So that you are able to understand the next lecture better, okay? So please follow this. You will have to attend all the classes, all 4 classes. It will go in a flow TDSS, okay? No, it's Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. All 4 classes, please. Okay. So, yeah, that was about the lectures and the practice strategy that you need to have. Okay. Um, I would suggest discuss this. Okay, it's 2 days in a week, so you can discuss with your manager. They will also understand because you're studying some course, so it's okay. They adjust for some time. Give it a try. It should be doable. I mean, I've had students in the past also. They discuss this with the managers and get sorted. Okay, give it a try. Tell them that you're pursuing a professional qualification, so they'll understand this. Okay. All right. So practice questions. This is one. Then next is one idea per mark, quality over quantity. Now I get this question a lot of times, ma'am, how much do I need to write for the theory questions? And this is where students start, skipping theory questions or section C questions. Just 1 second. Yeah. So, like, how much should I write? And then they start skipping it. But there's a very clear, way to approach the theory section C questions also. And it's like one idea per mark. So if the question is for 5 marks, you should ideally give in 5 ideas in the answer. Okay, you should give in 5 ideas in the answer to address the question. Now, what should I write? How much should I write? For each idea, ideally, you should write 2 to 3 sentences. 2 sentences is also fine, 3 sentences are also fine. How much you can write, that's on you. So 2 to 3 sentences are recommended. Ma'am, what should I write in those 2 to 3 sentences? First statement is always what has happened. Okay, first statement of each paragraph. So if you're writing 5 points, please write in 5 paragraphs. Okay, and first line of each paragraph will be what has happened or what is the concept about, and then why it has happened or how it relates to the scenario. This is the 2-step approach to write the theory points, each of these points. 5 marks, 5 points. Each point should include what has happened or what is the concept about, one-liner explanation of the concept and how it is relevant to the scenario given in the question or why it has happened. Just this trick, if you're able to follow while writing the theory answers, you will observe this in all the theory questions you read. You will find this is the layout of all the answers. More or less around these points, they will frame the answer. Ma'am, but I'm not able to think of 5 unique points, or in fact, the answer itself, what we have studied in the class is 3 points only. What should I do then? For 5 marks, write those 3 points. But then please increase the length of the paragraph. From 2 to 3, I would suggest 3 to 4 sentences. Okay, increase the length, elaborate properly, because you will have to write sufficiently for each mark. Examiner also understands that, okay, 3 unique points only are possible, so they will also give you marks. But write properly. Write in simple English. I don't expect you to use some, bombarding English in the papers, not needed. Simple, the way we are talking, simple English. Okay, use simple English to draft your points and give a logical, sequence to your points. Don't write abruptly anything and everything. And address the requirement carefully. You should be writing what is asked, not something that you already know. You're assuming, okay, that this I will write. Read the requirement carefully and then draft your answer. Then only you will get marks. Okay? So follow this trick. One idea per mark. Quality over quantity. And yes, use headings and paragraphs. Now you mentioned about paragraphs. Okay, I understand that. You have to write each point in each paragraph. But headings are cherry on top. So whatever paragraphs that you are writing, if you are able to give a 2 to 3 word heading to it, okay, that's just, it enhances the quality of your answer a lot. Examiner is able to see, okay, that this point is covered here. I need to give him one or, him or her 1 mark, 2 mark, as per the guidelines that I've shown you, and they will give you that mark. So keep it in mind, always keep this in mind. Make the life of the examiner simple. Everything you need to serve him or her in a silver platter. Ready made, okay, so that they are able to follow your answer. They don't have to spend time, okay, I think they are talking about this and that. No. Give a clear view of what you are wanting to convey, and without any, you don't have to write random things. Like, just to fill up the length of the answer, like my name is Anushka, people call me Anushka, my parents named me Anushka. No, I'm not talking about increasing the length unnecessarily. Write crisp lines, unique lines that, drives across the point that you want to make. Are you able to follow me? So use headings and write in small paragraphs. Okay. Then next is label and cross-reference workings. So what this is talking about is, see, there will be some questions where you need to do workings. Okay. So those workings you will have to always cross-reference. So write a heading for those working. Let's say note number 1, note number 2, note 3. You will learn this with me in the classes only. I'll tell you how to give notes. And always give reference of these notes in your main answer. If you're using a number out of those workings somewhere in your answer, write in bracket. So let's say I've used 15. And this 15 you have calculated in a note below. Write in bracket note number 1, or whatever that note number is. So label and cross-reference workings. Okay. And then next is rule of elimination in objective test questions. It sometimes happens that, you will get the answer right away. You read a question and you know that this is the right answer. You select it. Sometimes you don't get it like that. You don't get that, okay, this is the right answer. In that case, you should follow the rule of elimination. Very, very important for both section A and B. What you should do is, you should start with the elimination of inaccurate answer. So let's say 4 points are given to you, out of which you very, very clearly know that these 2 will never be the answer. Eliminate them. And then try to zero down on the final answer. Okay, so in objective test, you can follow this rule. If you're not able to get the answer directly, follow the rule of elimination. You start with deleting the incorrect options and zeroing down on the final correct answer. So your chances of getting the answer right increase. And lastly, use formula. Like I showed you, sum function works, average function works. All of these functions work on the exam tool. So wherever, possible, use the formula. Which all formula you need to know, I will cover that in the class itself. Okay. Please let me know if the skills required slide is clear to you. Anything you have a doubt in, please ask. Take your time, no hurry. Anything that comes to your mind, you can ask me. All clear? Okay. Next is very important, time management in exam. A lot of times I hear students struggling with time allocation. Ma'am, I was not able to complete the paper. I knew everything, but still I was not able to complete the paper. And it, it feels very bad. As a student, I can understand your pain when you knew everything, but still you were not able to complete the paper. So it's very painful. So to avoid that, you can start working on time management right from day zero. You set the tone that, okay, I have to time my preparation also. I'll also give you that much time only in classes also to solve. So it is possible initially when I give you, let's say, 5 minutes to solve, you're not able to complete it. You're maybe able to complete 30-40% of the answer only. Slowly, steadily, you will realize that, your speed will improve as you keep practicing along with me in the classes. So that is very important. You have to write the whole paper. See, all of you are mature enough to answer me this, that let's say you have written 100 mark or 95 mark, but paper that you have written, and out of that you need to get 50. Or the second one is you have written 65, 70 marks, let's say, and the probability of you getting 50 out of that, which one will be higher? Where is the probability of you passing higher out of 95 average attempted paper? So 70 marks, you're like very confident. Okay, now I have given my best. This is the best answer possible ever. So that is 70 marks, and 95 marks is average attempted. But yes, some questions very well done, some questions poorly done. Where is the probability of you passing more? Tell me, what do you think? Out of 70 or out of 95? You'll be able to score 50 marks? Definitely. Out of 95, all of you are giving me the right answer. And that's the reality. If you think that, you will write only the best answers and not try the remaining ones, it's a recipe for failure. Do not do it. You have to write the whole paper. Then only you'll be able to pass it. Okay? So please manage your time properly. Try to attempt as much marks as possible. So to allocate your time, multiply the marks for each question by 1.8 minutes. Ma'am, what is 1.8 minutes? See, total you have 3 hours. 3 hours mean what? 180 minutes. And you have 100 marks. So 180 by 100 is what? 1.8. So each question, it should be multiplied with 1.8 to get the amount of time that you can give to that question. So for example, section A, I told you there are about 15 questions and each of them carry 2 marks each. So 15 into 2, 30. So 30 into 1.8 will be what? 54 minutes. So your endeavor should be to complete the entire section A in 54 minutes. Ma'am, should I not take, 3.6 minutes per question of section A? Ideally, you should not target that. I'll tell you why. Because there will be some questions. Even while solving in the class, I'll tell you that this is a lengthy section A question or a lengthy section B question. It is possible that some of the questions, and ACCA does it deliberately, that some of the questions in section A will be on the lengthier side. Whereas some other questions, maybe immediately after that or 2 questions after that, they will be very small. They'll hardly take you seconds to solve if you know the concepts. Okay. So some questions lengthy, some questions are short. So you should always endeavor to target completion of section in the allotted time. So section A, 30 marks should take you 54 minutes. Similarly, section B also 30 marks should take you about 54 minutes. Target for overall section completion. Don't go for each question how much time you need to give. You may keep a track, okay, like this is directionally fine. Okay, this is how much time I should have taken so far. That's fine. But your overall target should be to complete a section in the allotted time. So that overall it adds up. Some lengthy question, some short question, overall it adds up properly. Right? So that is about section A and B. Similarly, section C, It has got 2 questions. Here you do at a question level. So question number 1 is of 20 marks. So 36 minutes. Question number 2 of section C, again 36 minutes. So this is how you should target the completion of the questions. Ma'am, should I answer the questions in order only? Like question number 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6? Nothing like that. You can attempt in any order that you prefer. But my suggestion would be do section A first, then section B, and then section C. Go with that flow. I find that it's more logical and it helps you to get marks, get to a comfortable spot with marks, easily. So that is something you can also adopt. But again, some students have come and told me that, ma'am, we prefer section C first so that the difficult ones are done and now we are focused on easy ones only. That is also possible. So you can try and experiment these things before exam when you're practicing the past papers, the mock papers. At that time, you can try out these things, like what is working the best for you. It could be section A, B, C first, or it could be section C, then A and B, or it could also be section B first, then A or C. Any combination can work for you, but do these experimentations before exam. During exam, you should have a short strategy that this is what I'm going to do today. Okay, so you can attempt in any order that you want. You will see the navigation bar below. You can quickly jump to any question, any section that you want. But you have a clear-cut strategy for that during exam. You can experiment before exam, what you're finding better. I personally find A first, then B, and then C. Are you clear? The slide, take your time, read through, and let me know if you're able to follow. Those of you who have attempted skill level papers before, what do you find better? Like, I'm suggesting ABC. What do you find better? Just trying to understand. Which ones do you attempt first? Umair says ABC. Okay. Ashna is also saying ABC. So that's what Sarah is also saying ABC. Okay. Yeah, in fact, I feel that this is more comfortable, section A you're done, so you get 30 marks, then B, 30 marks done, so 60 you have attempted. Section C is left, 40 marks you have to write, and you get some extra time also sometimes, I feel. If you're able to complete section in A and B faster, you get more time for section C, which is actually a little time consuming. So that's also like, it helps you both ways. Reaching a comfortable spot with marks and also giving you sufficient ample time for section C as well. So you can write illustrative, good answers there. Okay. So let's move on. Next, we have question verbs. Now, before we discuss this, I'll take you back to the question paper. I hope I have it open. So this is relevant for section C, huh? Like this question verb slide, which we're seeing over here. See, each question in section C will start with a verb. This is what? Prepare. So here you have to do calculation only. Okay, you have to prepare a table, and for preparing the table, you will need to do calculation. So this is a straightforward calculation question. Then let's move to the next one. Determine the recommended type of seminar room. So you have to recommend, okay. You have to recommend a seminar room which should be reserved. So this is a recommend question. Then let's move to the next one. Explain. Based on the scenario of Lorry Consultancy Company, explain the rationale of the decision rule above with the indication of the likely risk appetite. And again, here also, briefly explain. So you're seeing there are different question verbs in different questions. Here also it is explain how the balance scorecard would be used. Then So just one KPI with the justification and the use of KPI to analyze. So analysis also you have to do. So you're seeing different types of question verbs here. Now, what you should be writing if any of these question verbs come, that is something you should, be prepared for. Like if the question is asking you to advise or to recommend, advise and recommend are one and the same. You can see here, recommend and advise. So you have to tell someone, okay, like in the question which we just saw, which seminar room should be reserved. So this is what is expected out of you. I know it's very simple English, advise and recommend, that is what it means, that you'll have to advise something. But somehow, I don't know, students start explaining some concepts. Randomly, they will start doing things. So I don't want all of you to do that. Stick to the verb very, very closely. If the question is asking you to advise, please give advice only. Don't start talking about the history and geography of that concept. So tell someone what you think they should do in a given scenario. Next step of a verb which can come is analyze. You break an issue into multiple parts. Discuss the current situation. Okay. Analysis always means that you go deep dive into a particular calculation concept. So whenever a question is asking you to analyze, please deep dive into the multiple parts possible and then discuss the situation. How this analysis will help you to simplify or resolve the situation. Then apply the balanced scorecard concept to the situation. This type of a question can come. So you have to put a concept into action as per the question's data. Okay, that this is the concept. This is how it applies to the data in this question. Then next is assess. Judge the importance of an issue. Assess, normally it comes less only in the skill level paper, but still, if it comes. So assess is you will have to understand or you will have to explain what is the importance of this issue and how it can be resolved. Then discuss. Discuss is you have to do a balanced discussion. You have to talk about the pros and the cons of a particular issue. Okay, so that's a discussion. Whenever you're asked to discuss, this is a common question verb in the PM paper. If you're asked to discuss something, you have to talk about a balanced view. This is the good thing about it, this is the bad thing about it. More like an advantage, disadvantage type of a discussion you should put across in your answer. Then estimate. Estimate is calculate an approximate value, mentioning assumptions, if any, taken. So you have to calculate simply. Like there, we saw na prepare a profit table. So here also you'll have to do the calculations. Then evaluate. Balanced discussion. So evaluate and discussion is one and the same only. Evaluate if they're asking you to do that. Balanced discussion on right or wrong and why is it right or wrong. Then explain. Make a concept clear to a layman. A lot of times we saw explain. Explain is also a commonly asked question verb. You will have to explain the concept. Ma'am, does that mean I'll have to memorize all the concepts? No. You will need to relate to the scenario to explain the concept. Okay, so like how balanced scorecard can be applied to this company. So for that, you will have to give a 1 or 2 liner explanation in the beginning, and then you will start relating it to the scenario. That will get you marks. Okay, so explanation is you have to explain it in such a simple, lucid language that even a layman understands it. Someone who has no knowledge about it should be able to understand the concept out of your explanation. That should be your objective. And last is recommend. It is same as advice. A course of action is to be recommended. Okay, so these are the question verbs. Please go through it slowly, take your time, and let me know if you're able to understand what you will write if a question asks you this. clear. Okay. Others also, please let me know whenever you're done. Done? Yes. Okay. So then we wrap up this orientation slides. One second. All right. So you'll be getting these in the notes. So please make sure you download them and go through it again if you need. Now I'll give you some exercise to solve. So rounding off, I'm sure you all would have done in your classes earlier. So simple 14 questions that you're seeing over here. Please solve all of them together, otherwise the answer box, I mean the chat box will become too cluttered. Please look at these questions carefully and tell me what you would put in the answer box. See, in a lot of questions which I showed you on the practice platform, you have to type in the answer. And sometimes the question will ask you to round off in a specific way. And these are different ways in which they might ask you to round off. So what you have to do is, please try all of this, all the 14 questions, solve it together and then put it in the answer box. I'm giving you about some 5 minutes to solve this. All of you, please do try and send in your answers. What you would put in the answer box if this was the result that you were getting, and you have to round off and put your answers. Please give it a try. all of you? All right, let's see what you have got. Okay, Daria, Sarah, Umair, and Dimple have tried. So, let's see. And this is very important. A lot of times students lose the marks for this rounding off errors. So I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm discussing this in detail. The first one is rounded to the nearest dollar. Okay. So 432.11 if you're getting and you're asked to round to the nearest dollar. So what you will do is 432. Okay. 432.11 will become 432. Rounded to one decimal place. Now, when you're asked to round off up to this point, okay, up to one decimal place, you should look at the number immediately after this to decide the rounding off. So it will be 432.5. Okay. See here, Prathima, you made an error. Then rest of you, I think you got it right. Prathima, did you understand? So how do you have to round off? So if you have to round off up to this now, you need to look at the number immediately after. If it is 5 or above, it will change accordingly. So it will get rounded up if it is 5 and above. Yeah? Perfect. Then round it to the nearest $100. So you have to round up to this place. Look at my cursor here, which is blinking. So you have to round up to this place. Look at the number immediately. It is 3. So it will get rounded down. It becomes 4,500. Okay, this is what you will put in the answer box. Round it to the nearest $1,000. So you have to round up to this place, which is blinking here. So it's 5 and above. So it gets converted into 57,000. Okay. Round it to the nearest $1 million and you have to write in millions. This is the number that you're getting. Okay. Million has got 6 zeros. So the 6th place here. So you have to look at 7. So 7 is 5 and above. So it becomes 33. Please be careful over here. If you're asked to write something in million, so you will just type it in 33. Don't write it 33,000,000,000. Ashna, I see you made a mistake here. It will be 33. Why? Because you will be seeing the number immediately after the millionth place. Let me know if it is clear, all of you. Dhairya, you also made the similar mistake. Then Sarah, you messed up these zeros. Million has got 6 zeros. Crore has got 7 zeros. You have converted it into crores. Able to follow now? Anyone, if you have any doubts, please let me know. I'll explain it again. So million, see, million has got 6 zeros. So this 3 zeros, then again 3 zeros. You have to round up to this place. So it's 32.7 million. 7 is 5 and above. So therefore it becomes 33. Okay. Then rounded up. See, all of these were rounding to. Here it is specifically asking you to round up. Okay. So round up will be 432 now. Close your eyes, don't see what is the number after 432. You have to just round up, it will be 433. Okay? Then round it down to the nearest dollar. 432.11. You don't have to see. Please, but do not make it 431. I'll just cross check what you have done. See, some of you have written 431 also. It won't be 431. Rounded down will be 432 only. Are you able to follow? Deborah made an error here. Then Ashna. Sarah. I hope you're able to follow. Got it? Okay. Then round it up to 1 decimal place. So don't, apply any mind. You have to round up. It will be 432.5. You have to round down now. Okay, this is up to, round it up to 1 decimal place. Still, it will be 0.5 only. You don't care what is the number after this. You will always have to do round up. Okay. Then next is round it down to 1 decimal place. Always round it down. Whatever is the number, just keep it as it is. 432.4. Let me see what you did here. And I think I see that, Deborah, you made a mistake here in point number 9. Pratima also made a mistake here. Are you realizing such small errors and your marks are gone? It's such a basic thing, but you have to be careful now going forward. That's why I've discussed it with so many examples here. Some of you have made mistakes. I see Sarah has also made a mistake here. Right? So let me know if it is clear. If you still are facing difficulty in understanding, let me know. I'll explain again. Okay, I'll move ahead. Let me know if there's any doubt. Rounded up. So you'll make it 57,000. Then round it to the nearest, round it down. You'll be making it 56,000. Do not make it 55. Round it down doesn't mean you may take one level down. Round it down as to the nearest complete thousand, and that will be 56,000, not 55. Then round it up to the nearest $100. So this is the place you will look at and make it 4,600. Round it down will be 4,500. Clear, everyone? I hope you won't make mistakes now in rounding off. Not lose your precious marks. Just, you will do all the calculation correctly, but if you have not rounded properly, you lose those marks. Okay, so always be careful about that. Let me know if I can move ahead. Anyone you want me to explain again, let me know. I'll wait for you to confirm. Good that all of you tried. You'll realize your mistakes and not repeat them. Clear now? Okay. Sarah, Deborah, what about you? Ashna? None, no? Okay. All right, then. All right. Now, let me take you to some simple examples. Okay. So there are 5 questions here. Please give this a try. Prepare the answer for all 5 again, giving you some 5-7 minutes. Solve it and share your answer, then we'll discuss the answer. Simple questions, a very simple basic maths question. I just want you to test some skill here. Let's see if you're able to crack it or not. All of you, please do try. Okay, I think you have all sent in the answers in chunks. Okay, let's do it and then let me know how it went for you. So first always remember this concept, markup. Percentage of markup as a commonly used term is applied on cost. And margin percentage is always applied on selling price. Remember this logic. Now example number 1 here. Cost is 100. Okay, and markup is 20%. What would be the selling price? Pretty simple. Markup will be 100 into 20%. That is 20. And selling price would be 100 plus 20, 120. Now, this is a long way of doing it. Now, we are all progressing towards higher levels. So, what you should ideally do in such a situation is, see, what is this 120? It is 100 plus 100 into 20%. Can I write it as 100 outside the bracket into 1 plus 20%? All of you would have done it correctly. Just listen to me what I'm trying to explain. Can I write this as 100 into 1 plus 20%? Please tell me. Same thing only, no? So, going forward, this is how we'll be calculating the percentage values. We do 100 into 1.2 or 1 plus 20%. 20% or 0.2 is one and the same, okay? So, this is the selling price. So, yes, all of you are right. Now, second example, selling price is 100, margin is 20%. The question was asking you to calculate the cost. So, margin will be what? 100 into 20% because margin as a percentage applies on selling price. So cost will be 100 minus 20. Or we could have done what? What is this 80? 100 minus 100 into 20%. 100 outside the bracket into 1 minus 20%. So this is 80. Very, very simple. Now, example number 3. Here, selling price is 100. And markup is given to you 32%. Now, markup applies on cost. I don't have cost. So, what you have to do in this type of a situation is, whichever value, please look at these 2 steps carefully. Very simple, but very, very useful. Whichever value the percentage is applied on, assume it to be 100. So, markup applies on cost. So, let cost be 100. Okay. Then what will be the markup? 100 into 32%. And then what will be the selling price? Selling price will be 132, right? Now remember this formula forever and ever. I learned this somewhere in my, CPT classes back, way back in what, 2013, 12 years now, and I still use it. It is so useful, so useful. So what you have to do is given value. See, I'm doing it in 2 steps now here for you all to understand, but gradually you will start doing all of these calculations in your mind itself. So what is the given value? 100, right? 100 is the value given to you in the question, divided by its representative. Divided by its representative. What is its representative? 132, and multiply with the requirement into 100. Given value by representative, multiply with the requirement, and you get 75.76. I see that a lot of you did it right. Please let me know if it is clear. See, you may have solved using any other approach, but going forward, please use this approach. I will try to use it in so many different forms that, this should become the standard. Juma, you made a mistake in this one. I'm just reviewing your answers now. Deborah also made a mistake. Sure, I'll explain again. See, you would have done, this in your class 5, 6 also, but there you used to assume something to be X. Now, X doesn't work on calculators or on Excel. You assume something, let this be X, and then you would solve. Instead of assuming it as X, I'm telling you to keep it as 100. That the value be 100. And then whichever value the percentage is applied on, okay, markup applies on cost. So I'm assuming the cost to be 100. So let cost be 100. Then what will be the markup? If cost is 100, then what will be the markup? 100 into 32%, 32. And what will be the selling price? It will be 132, 100 plus 32. Okay. And then what you have to do, whichever value, there will always be one value given to you in the question only. So given value is 100. This 100 was given to you in the question. So given value divided by its representative, whatever its representative is, into 100. Okay. So I'm telling you, in terms of X, how you would have solved it. Let's look at this. You'll relate to it. Let it be X. Then 0.32X will be the margin. So what will this be? 1.32 X will be the selling price. Can I say 1.32X is equals to 100? And I solve for X like 100 by 1.32. See, X is equals to 75.76. Using X, you would have solved like this or not? Right? I'm doing the same thing over here. Given value, which is 100, divided by the representative, multiply with the requirement. This is the formula in terms of 100. And you will be really able to apply this anywhere you see proportions, ratio and proportions. Please take 2 minutes, observe the formula, what I've done, and let me know if it's okay. Done? Can I move ahead? Deborah? And others also, if you have doubts in this? Yes? Okay. Then, next. Look at this now. Cost is 100, margin is 29%. Margin applies on selling price. I don't know what the selling price is. What do you have to do? In your mind, what is the percentage applying on selling price? Let selling price be 100. Okay. Let selling price be 100. Then, what will be margin? 100 into 29%. So then cost will be what? 100 minus 29. That is 71. Okay. Now, what will I do? Same formula. Given value is what? Cost is given to you, 100. What is its representative? 71 into 100. 100 divided by 71 into 100. The answer comes as, what is the selling price? 140.85. All of you, please take a look. Dimple, then there. Oh my god, so many mistakes in this one. What happened? Pranav, you have also made an error. Ashna also error. Shreya also error. Umair also error. Umair, why? How come you are making error here? Sarah got it right. Prathama also error. What happened? Take a look at the formula. Let me know if it's okay, if it is making sense or not. All of you, take your time, no hurry. Let me know whenever you're done. And if you want me to explain again, let me know. Concept is same. I'll explain it to you using X also here. See, let selling price be X. Then what will be margin? 0.29x. What will be cost? 0.71x. So can I say 0.71x will be equals to 100? So x will be what? 100 by 0.71, 140.85. That's what I've done here in terms of 100. Given value divided by representative multiplied with requirement. Okay. And similarly, we have example 5 also. So here, material A and B comprise 40% and 60% of raw material requirement respectively. If material A is 850 kg, then how much of material B would be required? So whichever value the percentage is applied on, assume it to be 100. So let total requirement be 100. Okay. Let total requirement be 100. Then how much will be material A? 40. Material B would be 60. Right? Material A is given as 850 kg. Now, what would you do? Given value by representative multiply with required. Same formula everywhere. Any type of ratio proportion question comes, you'll be able to apply. Given value by representative multiply with requirement. Take a look at this. Let me know if it's okay, not okay. See, you could have solved using X also, but X will not work in your calculator or on Excel. So that is why we have to upgrade ourselves. We are just making the assumption to be 100 and then solving using the simple formula. Given whatever value is given to you, divided by its representative, multiply with the requirement. This will come very, very useful in a lot of chapters, not just in PM, in a lot of papers also. So let me know if it's okay. Understood? Great. All of you, let me know. Got it now? Now don't make mistakes in this. And simple concept, but very, very crucial to help you earn simple marks. Okay. So on that note, we will pause our class here for the day, and then we'll meet again tomorrow to continue the discussion. Okay? We'll see you again. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Take care.